Greetings and thanks again for joining me this week for my weekly video message. As we record this message, we are in the middle of a torrential rain from the remnants of Hurricane Ida. Our emergency operations centers has been activated and we are monitoring the impact of this deadly storm on our county. Early Wednesday morning, basement apartments at the Rock Creek Woods Apartments in Rockville were flooded by a powerful flow of water in the middle of the night. As of Wednesday afternoon, there is one fatality and one person unaccounted for, and approximately 150 people from 60 apartments have been displaced. I went there Wednesday morning, and in my 60 years of living in this county, I've not seen anything like this. Given the large and frequent rains that have occurred recently, without creating any flood issues there, we are now investigating what occurred that led to this event so that we can identify the cause and find appropriate fixes for it quickly. We began immediately to take care of these displaced residents, as well as additional families that were displaced from 20 flooded units at the nearby Congressional Towers. We're providing culturally competent support at the Mid-County Rec Center to help these families out. I want to send my sympathies and condolences to the families who lost their loved one, and I want all of these impacted residents to know that we are here to help them through this difficult ordeal. I also want to thank our Fire and Rescue Services, Emergency Management, the Police Department, and the Department of Transportation for their quick response in the middle of the night to help these people out as quickly as possible. Hurricane Ida began as a devastating Category 4 hurricane down in the south. The Montgomery County's Fire and Rescue Department deployed 45 team members with 23 different pieces of equipment, including 8 boats, to assist the residents of Louisiana. Our thoughts are with our fire and rescue team for safe travels as they aid and support these communities. We thank them and their families as they help those in need. Over the next few weeks, we will be in the height of hurricane and tropical storm season. Due to climate change, these storms are bigger, more intense, more destructive year after year. There is no way to reverse this trend, certainly not in the short term, but there's a lot we can do to slow down these deadly impacts. This is not going to happen by simply wishing or praying for it to get better. We need smart policy and the political will and courage to make tough decisions. Montgomery County is leading our state, region, and nation in combating climate change, but we can't do it alone. Our state and our federal government and our international community must keep up with us. This week, our 7-day community transmission rate has gone from substantial to high, according to the CDC. This is significant. Our numbers are going in the wrong direction, and we must not relax our vigilance to protect ourselves, our families, our workplaces, and everyone we interact with. As a community with high transmission rates, we're not alone. In fact, our entire region, state, and nation is facing the same challenge. And this week, the European Union recommended that its 27 nations reinstate restrictions on tourists from the United States because of our rising coronavirus infections here. But where we stand out from the rest of the nation is our record high vaccination rates. 73% of our total population is fully vaccinated. That's 20 percentage points higher than the national average. And when we say total population, we mean everybody, including those 12 and under who can't get vaccinated. 86% of the eligible population is fully vaccinated, 25 percentage points higher than the national average. And 94% of our 65 and older population is vaccinated, 15 percentage points higher than the national average. The root cause of this surge in cases are the unvaccinated adults who simply refuse to be responsible for the health impacts that they have on both vaccinated and unvaccinated people. They are the source of these infections. Vaccinated people do not spontaneously develop COVID. They get it from exposure to unvaccinated people and to a lesser degree to vaccinated people who unknowingly have become infected by unvaccinated people. All the COVID cases in a chain begin with an unvaccinated person at the beginning of the chain. It's unfair that those unvaccinated individuals seem to assert that they have the right to be unvaccinated, but no responsibility in how they handle that choice. If they make other people sick, they pretend that they have no responsibility, and the rest of the population, the almost 95% of you who got vaccinated, has to continue to put their lives at risk and limit their ability to enjoy the things that we want to do in a safe environment. This view of the world is just wrong and fundamentally unjust. And that leads us to vax passports. It's clear to me that if we're going to avoid these cases continuing to spiral out of control like they did last fall and winter, we must implement a vaccine passport program. When cases are higher, there is more anxiety about exposure, and there are greater opportunities for exposure. This hurts our businesses who've already had a tough 18 months. We continue to see business, particularly restaurants, operating below capacity because people don't feel safe indoors environments where there may be seated among unvaccinated people. Having children that you might want to visit the restaurant or movie with heightens the concern even further. If the vaccinated felt comfortable that they could dine out or go to the movies, concert, or event where others around them were vaccinated or had proof of negative COVID tests, this would create more business for our businesses. My hope is to create an insurance for people that you can enjoy as much as what we used to consider normal in a safe, COVID-free environment. None of us want to return to the capacity limits or limit outdoor or indoor activities. We should not have to, but we do need a vaccine passport program to make that possible. And this is the point. If the region or state can't move forward with a plan, we should do it on our own. Many restaurants and entertainment venues have done this on their own already because they recognize the value and the sense of security it gives to their customers. Finally, I had the pleasure this week to join MCPS Interim Superintendent Dr. Munifa McKnight as we visited several schools on opening day. We opened the newly remodeled Seneca Valley High School, a beautiful building that is now the state's largest school by the physical size of the building. Seneca Valley is the up-county hub for career and technical education programs, and it offers 14 CTE programs, career technical education programs, including automotive technology, construction, hospitality, tourism, healthcare, cybersecurity, and engineering. We also visited Veersmeer Elementary School, a Title I Blue Ribbon school that serves a diverse and poor community with incredible results. We stopped by at lunchtime and talked to the principal and teachers about the logistics of ensuring kids are safe from COVID exposures while eating. And our first day of school visits concluded at Parkdale Middle School, a magnet school for aerospace technology. When I was in middle school, I was lucky enough to make a paper airplane fly. These students are building rockets. There was something special about the first day of school this year. After 18 months of closure and 18 months of really difficult times adapting to a world that none of us knew anything about, there hasn't been any time in our nation's history that affected our ability to educate children quite like this pandemic. Not having our children in these school buildings 5 days per week was something unprecedented. As I watched the children and teachers reunite this week, it was obvious that everyone really missed this engagement. I want to wish Dr. McKnight and her team, along with every student, teacher, principal, support staff, and parent, a great 2021-2022 school year. Thank you for taking the time to listen.